Welcome to Timeless Words, where we explore the wisdom of history's greatest thinkers. Today, we journey into the mind of Plato, one of the most influential philosophers of all time. A student of Socrates and the teacher of Aristotle, Plato shaped Western thought through his ideas on truth, justice, love, and the very nature of reality. His words, though spoken more than 2,000 years ago, still echo with meaning in our lives today. Let us reflect on the famous quotes of Plato and the timeless lessons they reveal. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. Plato reminds us that words are powerful. True wisdom is not in endless talking, but in speaking with purpose. Our conversations should be filled with meaning, not noise. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Every great journey starts with a single step, whether it's learning, creating, or changing our lives. Plato teaches us that how we begin sets the tone for all that follows. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Here, Plato warns against apathy. If good people remain silent, corruption will rise. Our duty is to engage with society, to care for justice, and to shape the world we live in. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Bravery is not about ignoring danger, but about recognizing what is truly worth fearing and what is not. Plato teaches us that wisdom guides courage. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. In a world driven by desire, Plato reminds us that true richness comes not from possessions, but from peace of mind. Simplicity is the key to freedom. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. For Plato, music was more than entertainment. It was a reflection of harmony itself. It nourishes the spirit, awakens creativity, and connects us to something beyond ourselves. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Plato understood the complexity of human nature. Our choices arise from what we want, what we feel, and what we know. To live wisely, we must balance all three. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. This sharp reminder urges us to take responsibility. If we don't help shape society, we may be left with leaders unworthy of the role. The measure of a man is what he does with power. For Plato, character is revealed when someone holds authority. Power is not about control, but about responsibility and justice. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Plato points us toward wisdom in dealing with frustration. If we can change something, we should act. If we cannot, anger only wastes our energy. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound. This vivid image shows us that ignorance often speaks the loudest, while true wisdom is quiet and humble. Knowledge becomes evil if the aim be not virtuous. Plato believed knowledge must be guided by morality. Without virtue, even great knowledge can cause harm. True wisdom is always joined with goodness. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. Plato recognized that opinion is not the same as truth. It sits in the middle, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. To grow, we must move beyond opinion and seek real knowledge. Love is a serious mental disease. With a touch of irony, Plato reveals the overwhelming power of love. It consumes the heart and mind, transforming everything it touches. For him, love was both dangerous and divine. There will be no end to the troubles of states until philosophers become kings or kings become philosophers. Perhaps one of his most famous lines, Plato dreamed of rulers guided not by greed or ambition, but by wisdom and justice. Leaders must think deeply, act fairly, and govern with truth. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Plato reminds us that beauty is not fixed. It lives in perception, in the soul that sees, and in the heart that appreciates. The direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future life. Education for Plato was the foundation of character. What we learn and how we learn in our earliest days shapes the entire course of our existence. Plato's words are more than philosophy. They're lessons for living. He reminds us to seek truth, live simply, lead wisely, and balance our desires, emotions, and knowledge. Even after centuries, his voice still speaks to our search for justice, love, courage, and wisdom. Which of his quotes spoke to you the most? And how can you bring that wisdom into your own life? Here at Timeless Words, we believe the past can guide our present and future. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, the beginning is the most important part of the work.